So my favorite exercise to connect with a wise mind is about connecting to a visualization of a mountain lake. So we're going to do that together. This one will be a little bit longer. So if you have the time to do that, you can do it a little bit longer. If you don't have a lot of time, you can shorten it. Once you have the experience, once you know what you're doing, then you can adapt it to whatever you need in the moment. So the first step is taking a moment to close your eyes. And the mindfulness in this particular experience is within. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, you can always bring the gaze down, half close your lids, whatever feels appropriate for you in this moment, because sometimes closing the eyes can be challenging. And also noting if you're not very visual, notice what things stick out the most for you. So what senses are strongest for you. So I want you to imagine, with the eyes closed or not, a clear mountain lake. This lake is so clear that you can see all the way down to the bottom. You can see the wildlife. Maybe you see some plants down there, some rocks. And you can see the mountains above the lake. And even the reflection of the mountains in the water. Along this lake are stones, pebbles, big, small, in between. And as you breathe slowly and deeply, I want you to look down at these stones at your feet and pick one that calls to you. Maybe it's big, maybe it's small, maybe it's smooth or rough. And as you pick up the stone, I want you to imagine that this stone is you. It represents you. And then I want you to throw this stone into that clear mountain lake, as if you're jumping in with it. And as this stone begins to float down, first creating a ripple, churning up the waters, creating some, maybe even a little chaos. So notice that. And as you drop down into this lake, the silt begins to settle. It gets a little quieter. Perhaps you hear the sound of the water in your ears, knowing that you can breathe perfectly well in this underwater space in whatever way feels most resonant to you. So continuing that deep, slow breath as you float down towards the bottom of this lake. Maybe you see a little bit more than you did before. Maybe colors are brighter. Maybe you see more wildlife, the fish floating around you, the swaying of the plants in the underwater, the stillness. And as you drop down and reach the bottom of this clear mountain lake, perhaps there's a little bit of movement once again. And then you settle. So even though you're underwater, you feel that groundedness of the earth, the sand beneath you, the dirt at the bottom of the lake. And you see the surface of the water, the mountains above, perhaps the sky. A little bit clearer, a little bit quieter. Notice how you feel in this place. Perhaps a sense of clarity. Perhaps there's a little less noise. a sense of peace. Just notice what that feels like for you. Maybe a sense of expansion across the heart, a knowing. This is wise mind. Perhaps in this space there's a message here for you. Maybe there's something that your heart wants to tell you. Maybe it's a word, a phrase, an image, a color. Staying here for as long as you like. Really allowing your entire mind, body, spirit, and everything in between to absorb this experience, to begin to integrate it. And when you feel ready, beginning to gently float back up out of this clear mountain lake, taking your time, finding your way back onto the shore. Perhaps you even see things a little bit differently here. If your eyes were closed, perhaps you open them, completing this wise mind practice. It's always a good opportunity to jot down what it was like for you. And know that if it was challenging for you, it is a practice. So you can continue to do this as many times as you'd like. You can listen to this video, or you can do it on your own, shorter, longer. I hope this was helpful for you. Stay tuned for some other tools, and definitely ask questions in the comments. Reach out for a consultation if you need a little more support or a little more guidance. And happy mindfulness practice.